welcome to the Tuesday Lives
Hi,
with Aimee and Boris.
mainly with Aimee.
Oh, Boris is my sidekick. And, well, today we're going to talk about what feels right in my heart. Something one of my people said, and it's really cute because my peoples give me ideas all the time. They're so good to me. But we will start with a prayer. Of course, we always thank God every minute of the day. And the microphone would be good too.
Yeah, we need a microphone in our life.
Oh, look at my face. But, okay, so come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of your faithful, and kindle in them the fire of your love. Send forth your Spirit, and they shall be created, and you will renew the face of this earth. O God, you taught the hearts of your faithful by the light of the Holy Spirit. Grant then that by the gift of the same Spirit we may be truly wise and always rejoice in his consolation. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. So one of my people said, well, I do what feels right in my heart. And I said, oh, to please God. And, well, that could be, but it's really what feels right in my heart. Well, we've kind of become a feel-good society. That if it feels good, we think it's right. And, well, what would feel right in our heart is what makes us feel better. But feelings can be deceiving. The enemy can not only make us think the wrong way, the enemy being pickpocket, because we never know he's stealing our soul. A lot of times we're blind to it. But he can also make us feel the wrong way. He can make us feel good about something that's bad. And he can make us feel bad about something that's good, to discourage us. Everything, if it feels right, you have to always double check if it's right with God, if it's according to his word, if that's what God would want, is it pleasing to God, and is it his will according to his word, because not everything is. When we correct our children at a charity, it doesn't always feel right. We like to be the good guy. We don't want to be the tough guy. We want to be popular and be liked. And sometimes they don't like us at that moment. So it doesn't always feel right.
Yeah.
Having to do the right thing when it's not popular or against the odds or when not many people think your way doesn't always feel right. It doesn't feel good. Exposing a truth that may be hurtful, but helpful to do so and necessary, doesn't feel right. You don't want the person to be hurt, but it's something we must do. It's not right for us to lie to them so that they can feel better. We can only help them when we tell them the truth, even if it doesn't feel right, even if we feel like the bad guy, even if it feels wrong. Because the enemy will always want to discourage you by making you feel that it's wrong. And therefore we avoid doing the right thing, or exposing the truth, or speaking our mind, especially when it's most important. So, are we doing what feels good to us at the expense of others? When I was contemplating adopting a child from Children and Families, it made me feel like a good person, like a virtuous person. I would feel great about saving a life. I would feel wonderful about giving someone a chance, being that I went through foster homes myself. and I want to do that for someone else, but I also have to consider the dynamics of my family and my entire family. And I have to help them in the process, get them to understand being in someone else's shoes and see if it's appropriate. And I have to consider everyone into the equation, not just what feels good to me. Sometimes it feels good to do things for our kids, and sometimes we do too much. I feel like a good mom when I make the bed for my kids in the morning. I do their floor, but that should suffice. That should be enough. What am I doing when I make their bed besides making myself feel good? Am I doing a service for them? What if, for example, our daughter's homeschooled? It could be a great sense of accomplishment for her if I teach her to do it right. And if she starts doing something really right in the morning, starting with her bed, for which she would feel accomplished, it will encourage her to accomplish more things and accomplish them correctly, so that she can get that feeling of feeling good about herself, that she did something on her own and to her own credit. Am I taking that away from her so that I can feel like a good mom? So sometimes we do things for others. Let's say we pay the bills for someone else, or even the government, if he's giving too many benefits to people. Maybe the people that are doing that may feel good, but are they doing them a service? Are they encouraging instead a sedentary lifestyle, where they might not want to do for themselves, where they might become dependent, and therefore they get depressed? Because we need to feel productive. It's in our human nature. Otherwise we feel useless. And if we feel useless, we feel depressed. And if we're depressed, we become irritable. And if there's irritability, there's conflict. So the feeling good about giving too many benefits did more harm than good. And so sometimes when we focus on our feelings, we don't acknowledge common sense. And basically, common sense is God. He says that we should help each other to what's best for the person, not what's best for us or what makes us feel good. So you could, I'm sure you have examples of something that doesn't feel good, but it's the right thing to do, or it feels bad and or it feels good and it's the wrong thing to do. Okay, I have another one. When we go drinking, it feels good. Alcohol feels good when you get the buzz, and it feels so good you drink more and more because you want to satisfy that feeling of it feels nice. But then you get a hangover. So is it the right thing to do? We went out of focus, and we're going out of focus again.
Focus.
Oh, pickpocket. But anyhow, so there's things that we do that feel good for the moment, but it's momentarily happiness, and it's not the right thing to do. And later there's consequences because we acted on emotion instead of using our mind and thinking it through and using common sense. And sometimes we have to put feelings aside because our feelings can be wrong. But you know what's not wrong is God. And God's truth never changes. And God's truth, if we follow it, is the best way to live and doesn't have consequences. And it doesn't include feelings, but includes living the right way, which leads to peace and happiness. And it doesn't just focus on what feels good to us on an individual level, but what feels good because we're doing the right thing by God, which helps us feel complete, which is the only feeling we should really focus on. So, think it through. When we think it feels right in my heart, and consider, is it the right thing to do? Revert to the Bible. What did God said? How does God want us to behave? Pray about it. What would He like? Ask Him for wisdom. Because guys, it's hard to decipher. Discernment is not easy. And it's sometimes we feel like we're good or we're doing the right thing and we're being fooled. And instead it can be pride. And instead we can be going about it exactly the wrong way. But that's how the devil best hides behind our feelings. And especially if we're good-hearted, if you have a good heart, that's where he's going to focus on. Making us feel like we're good. Making us feel like we know things that we don't know, or that we know better, or that we're the exception, or that we're protected, or that we're so special. And you have to be vigilant, God said. So think about that. When it comes to feelings, always put God first. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, and the radio. That's your announcement.
Oh yeah, sure. Please join us on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, live streaming here. Our next show, it's going to be live streamed as well, with a very interesting guest. 1 p.m. Eastern.
Maintaining relationships. That's what it's about.
Yes. Bye.
God bless. And much love. Good night.